losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes.
10 things you need to know as a brand new mom. Number 1, I had to change the battery. I have a very short time until the baby wakes up, so I need to make this quick. Number 1, when your baby is making a high-pitched scream, it usually means that he has or she has gas. If you're nursing, you want to burp in between breasts, or burp in between bottles, or burp after a few ounces, maybe like 3 ounces you want to burp, just to get that gas out to feed your baby. And when the baby eventually falls asleep, the baby isn't waking up from screaming because there's bubbles in his or her tummy. You also want to put the baby's knees to their stomach, and you want to go from side to side like this, so their knees to chest, and that will get a lot of gas out too. We didn't really know this, and nobody really told us this. They did say do the bicycle kicks, but Caleb and I kind of invented this. I'm sure we're not the first one. We're obviously not the first ones to do this, but I never saw any other moms doing this where it was knees to chest, kind of a little bit more gymnastic-y stuff, but it was really getting a lot of gas out for Everest. Number 2, that's 4. Number 2, as a new mom, you're not gonna be thinking to ask for what you need. You're just gonna be like always wanting to give to the baby, give to your husband, give to your baby. You need to ask for what you want. For example, if you need to work out, to just get your mind off to do something for you. Something for you. Like for me, I love editing a video. I love creating something it's artsy and expressive, and I think that was always something that I wanted to do. I need just me time to edit a video, put something together, and be expressive. I needed time for just a walk, or just something that you want, that's only for you, that your husband can sit and be with the baby for 30 minutes, whatever, XYZ number, an hour, where your husband has his own time and then you have your own time. But you need to ask every single day for this time. You're not going to feel guilty during this time. This is a time where you get to just be you I'm sorry, I don't know why my head is itching. This is a time where it's just you, and you don't have to explain why you have this time. This is like what you get to do, what you used to do before baby. Maybe you just need to get a coffee with friends. It's that simple. You don't need to explain it. You need the time, sister. Ask for it, but you have to ask. That's the key. A lot of moms won't ask for it. You have to ask for it, or it won't be given and you're gonna go crazy. Number 3, you are not wasting your time by day in and day out taking care of this baby. A lot of moms get 8 weeks maternity, and then they start to feel like they're wasting their time. They're not doing anything productive. You are not wasting your time. Something that my husband told me: everything that you're doing is super valued and super treasured. With every blowout, every time, all the time you're nursing your baby, you are worshiping God Himself. And you are doing these things for Jesus. It's as if you're doing every single thing for Jesus Himself. Honestly, just taking the time knowing that every moment is for God. Every moment is like incense on an altar to the Father. Everything you're doing is worthy and worth God's attention and worth God's while, and that you are literally doing this for God Himself, as if your little baby is Jesus Himself. Number 4, I have to bring you along for this. I wonder if I have any milk. Don't freeze milk like this, but freeze milk like this. I think the best way, like milk just sits better in your freezer this way. You can stack a ton of milks on top of each other if they're just all stacked nicely, if you know what I mean. So like this, like if they're stacked nicely, one on top of each other, like that. I learned it the hard way, because when you're defrosting and milk and you're gonna give it to your baby, you don't want it's hard to store like that. So make sure that you lay it flat every time that you our freezing milk. I would sometimes just get lazy and just throw it in there and it would look like that, but make sure that you lay it down. You'll thank yourself later when it looks like that. Swimmers, swimming diapers. I did not actually know about this until Everest was like 8 months. My sister, I went to the lake and with my sister, and she was like, why don't you have, like, I brought my baby, and it was his first time at the lake, and his diaper was filling up, and it started to burst beads that in the diaper. And my sister was like, what are you doing? Like, that's super toxic in the lake. Like, you need to get these. They're swimmers. Let me just go get them. Okay, so these are swimmers. Hello. He's asleep. We've never had this happen before. Little swimmers, they come like this. You can get, like, I guess the way I got these were like, I got 2 packs of 20 in there, and this is size 3 because he's 9 months. And this is a regular diaper, and this is a swimmer diaper. So these ones get all puffy and will like get toxic beads in the lake, which are awful. Don't do that. Make sure you put these swimming diapers on, because these swimming diapers don't fill up like these. These ones just let water out. So if you're on the boat and you are going in the water, or they're gonna be with you out on a paddle boat or whatever, or they're gonna just be in the water, put these on because it lets water out. It'll also let pee out and poop out. So if they have diarrhea or whatever, like, or runny poop, which babies do, infants do, this will let it out, but at least it's coming out and not being just stored up. So make sure you get swimmers, especially in the summer. They're super cheap. I think they're cheaper than regular diapers, I want to say, but they're awesome. Make sure you have them. I had no idea about them. Anyways, this is why I'm telling you this. Number 6, when your baby's teething, which could happen at 3 months. He started teething around 3 months. He'll start drooling like crazy. We learned a few different tips. You might already know these. So you want to get like the frozen teething rings. Those everybody knows. Everest really likes, he only liked it till he was about 8 months, and it was the frozen teething ring. He also got like some keys. I'll show you what I mean. I'm back. This is the teething ring. It's not frozen right now. It's usually a lot lighter, but he loves these at 9 months. And they're like keys, and so they're like soft, and they're not cold right here, but they're cold right here. And then there's different ones that he can grab, and so when one is warm, he can grab a different one. These are awesome. He really likes them. Plus, mom and dad always have keys, and so he realizes mom and dad have keys, so I like keys. You know, we haven't actually done this, but I know that this works. A lot of my friends use it. Is they take like a washcloth and tie it in a knot and then soak it in breast milk and then freeze it, so that when he comes out, when he wakes up and he wants it or whatever and he's teething, he can just chew on the cloth, the frozen cloth, and then he's getting breast milk, which is his favorite. A couple different things for teething babies. We have tried these liquid, homeopathic, like liquid soothing things that kind of help his teeth. It worked a little bit. I'm not gonna say it worked so much. You want to definitely give it a try for your baby. All babies are different. We also have these Highland ones like this. There's a night and day. I would definitely give it a try. Every baby is different. These are a couple things we have tried. They did work a little bit. Honestly, for us, what worked the most is every 4 hours alternating Motrin and children's Tylenol. I don't know. I mean, we tried all these things and they are awesome, and I know that they have worked for some people. They didn't exactly work so great for Everest, but I'm gonna keep them because we're having future babies and hopefully they will work for them. We also tried this Orajel for putting it on his teeth. This one kind of tingles and is a tingling sensation, which I really liked. We always try it on our teeth beforehand, and this one, there's a night and a day one. We also had these. This is like Mommy's Bliss. We used a lot of this for like the what is it called? We use the Mommy, this brand for gripe water, and this works really well. This brand works really well for gripe water if your baby is fussy, gassy at night. This brand really works well, but we keep these in the fridge at all times to keep them cold, and this is like a nighttime soothing massage gel, and this is the daytime one. We keep these in the fridge to keep them a little chilled. We also recently started using this. It's a lot more like tough for numbing. It's the Wink Naturals Cool Gel. It's supposed to be all natural, and we've tried this, and this works. It's very numbing, very, very numbing. Okay, so it looks like the baby is up now. I'll be right back.
Losing time, I'm fading.
Number 7. I go on walks all the time with Everest. As soon as he wakes up, we'll go on walks for about an hour at a time, sometimes half hour, sometimes longer than an hour. Walks really help Everest calm down, and he just falls asleep in this carrier. It's like this. It looks like this. I don't know what kind it is. It's just like your basic carrier, I think. Yeah, it's just like a basic carrier, and it goes on like this, and he sits in the front. I'll show you a picture here and here. And we also have the ring sling. I'll show you a picture here. And we also have the Moby, which is this. So I used the Moby for when he was like 0 to 3 because the material is very stretchy. I really like that. It's good for walking around the house, doing stuff while the baby's asleep and you have to be carrying them. The ring sling is good for when he's like 3 months, when he can hold his head up even up till now. He can use the ring sling. He could use it when he's 1. He can use it till like he's like 38 pounds. So we'll be using it for a while. The ring sling is like a lot stronger, more thick material. The material's like not as forgiving as the Moby is. The ring sling it's more taut, the material, but the baby can sit sideways. There's a lot of different ways that the baby can sit. This one is by far our favorite. It's very easy to assemble, easy to get on. You don't have to think too hard about it. You put it on, it's kind of like a backpack in the front, and he sits. Lots of other people, like friends, have just worn him. It's super easy to get on and off. It's versatile. Like, you can unclip this part. It's more like a seat so he can look out. It's not recommended to like be walking, but if you're holding him, you can, because he doesn't like this after a while. He doesn't like it up over his chest. He'll want, if you're doing it for hours and hours, I just pull it down, and then it's as if it's not over his chest. He's just sitting, so he can reach more and lean and look, and he really likes it. And this will make him fall asleep while we're out walking. He often will fall asleep just in the carrier while I'm walking around and there's gravel crunching, and he'll just fall asleep. It's awesome for getting him to fall asleep. The transition from the carrier to bed is a different story. So I'll just let him fall asleep, and I'll just sit on the couch and he'll be asleep on me. You just kind of have to deal with it, or you can try to transfer him. Often that would wake him up, but every baby's different. Number 8. Right now he is at 9 months. I saw as a recommendation, like around 7 months, they drop a nap and they go down to 2 naps a day. He has done this, but it's not as helpful for him at his for him specifically. We do 3 naps a day. He wakes up around anywhere from 6 to 8 each morning, and then an hour later, like clockwork, he will have his first nap, and then he will be up for another hour and a half. He'll sleep for an hour, about hour to 2 hours. Then he'll wake up an hour after that. He will go down for his second nap, which is usually around 11 or 12, and then he will be up for another hour around, from noon to 1:32, and then he'll go down for his second nap. By 3, we want him to be going down at least by 3 for his third nap. Anywhere from 3 to 5. We want him waking up from his third nap around 5. That's kind of the gauge. We know we're on the right track if he's waking up around 5 for his third nap, and then he'll be ready about at least 2 hours later, about 7:30 to go down to bed for the night. So this is so crucial for him to have the 3 naps a day. I did see that it was recommended by 7 months you can drop a nap and go down to 2, but these naps build on each other. You need to have the naps, because if he misses a nap or he's not having the naps, it makes it harder for the next nap, and they just start to snowball. And then by the time it's nighttime, if you only had one nap or no naps, you are gonna have a really tough baby to get down to sleep. He is fussy, overtired, crabby, is arching his back, he's just wanting to squirm, he doesn't want to sit, but then he's also fussing, he could be teething. All these things kind of snowball. The naps kind of add on to each other. You want to make sure you're getting the naps for it's weird how it works. You would think like, oh, if he has no naps he'll be super tired at night. That's just not how it works. You need to be having the naps earlier throughout the day. They add up, and if you do have the nap, it'll make him, I don't know, I reread in a book somewhere that if he has a good nap, he'll play really hard, and then he'll sleep really hard, and then he'll play really hard, and then he'll sleep really hard. But if he is so extremely tired, he's not playing as hard and he's not getting his naps, it's just crazy. If he sleeps well, he will sleep well for the next nap, and then he'll sleep well for the next nap, and then he'll sleep next, and essentially for bed he will sleep well all night. It's very interesting. I'm not sure why. Number 9, swaddling is your best friend. I have sisters that would swaddle a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old. You can swaddle. I don't do this. We don't swaddle him as much anymore. I would do this thing where I would swaddle him and then take like a blanket and kind of cover his eyes, just like his eyes, not his nose or his mouth, just over his head, and then it would make him close his eyes and it would help him fall asleep quicker while being swaddled. This was when he was like months old, like days old, weeks old, and even into like up until 3 months. I would always cover his eyes. We also do this thing where when he's kind of falling asleep, we run our fingers over his nose and his eyes, and then it makes him kind of close his eyes a little bit. So I find that really helps as well. Number 10, if you're a nursing mom and you're doing car rides alone, I have a few tips and tricks for you. Even if you're not nursing, if you're a bottle fed mom, this will work for you as well. If you are a nursing mom, you want to pump before a long car ride alone. I did this when he was about 3 months. I had to go on like a 4-hour car ride, 4.5-hour car ride. Those can be super intimidating because you're by yourself, and you're not going to be able to, would have to stop and nurse, which is difficult if you just need to get going. You have a time frame of when you need to get somewhere, but it's a long drive. So pump before, have a little bottle of milk and that you can kind of reach back and give him some of the bottle so you can keep driving. Eventually he'll be able to take the bottle and feed himself. I sometimes would have to hold it, but it's not a big deal while you're driving. Once baby is 7 months, this was like incredible. My sister showed me these on a really long 8-hour car ride, just her and I, with 3 babies under 2. We did this. So once they're 7 months, you can give them these Gerber teethers. Super awesome. They have a couple different flavors, like beet and apple. It's like beet, apple, and something else, but this one is carrot and banana. So good. They taste just like bananas. The other one tastes like apple maybe. It's very hardly little to no flavor, but you break off a little piece and can give it to them. It's super entertaining for them, and it lasts. You can make it last so long. You just break off a little piece, give it to them, and it dissolves in their mouth, so you don't have to worry about choking. It does recommend you supervising, so if you have one of the mirrors in the back, you can just kind of see the baby, see how they're doing, and but make sure they're like smaller pieces. This is awesome, and it worked so well for me. I was nervous at first to give him these just because I wasn't sure, but then I tried it. Make sure you try it yourself, see how well it dissolves, and awesome. I also gave him these Soothe and Chew is what it is, but they're super messy. They're super messy, but they're like banana flavored, and he can just chew on them if he's chewing, if he's teething. They're awesome for that. The blue one, the one I just showed you, is hard, and he can chew on it and bite pieces off and then chew on it. Those aren't as dissolvable, so you definitely kind of want to be really watching your mirror. But it's super messy, it crumbles everywhere, you're gonna have a messy baby, but it'll keep him entertained or her entertained for a really long time. Okay, another trick. I have little bins like this and I keep them in the car, and I keep them filled with toys. So I just keep lots of like toys in here, and so I'll just keep the toys up with me, like filled to the brim with toys, and then one at a time when he gets fussy, I'll just hand him back a toy, and then he can play with this and he'll be entertained for at least 5 minutes, maybe anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes with each toy. So I bring a lot of toys, like 2 bins of these toys filled with toys, and then I'll one at a time just hand him a toy, you know, and then he'll chuck it like they always do. Sorry of the moving camera, but we have a baby that's so interested in what is going on here because I'm talking to you. He wants to be a part of it. Look in here, buddy. I really like that because it keeps him entertained, keeps him occupied for a few minutes, and then you can hand him a new toy, he'll chuck it, play with it, and then chuck it. We also have like a mobile, like, you know, those things that go over the crib. It's like a noisy mobile. We actually strapped it to the back of our car with like bungee cords, and we made sure it was really secure. You could strap it a different way that you feel, or like with zip ties, and then we strapped it so it hangs over his car seat, and then it has lights, flashing lights and different things. That worked like a charm. Lots of lights and sound, so you can push it. He pushed it, kick it with his feet, and he could push it, and that was super entertaining for him. We really loved that. He really loved that. I think that's all I have for you. He is super entertained, wants to be a part of this, so we are gonna have to be done with this video. I hope you really enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. For sure, share this video with a new mom friend of yours, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.